Okay, so the idea for this particular project is to have a Formicarium mixed with a Terrarium. So, in the first instance, this is going to be, my friend Aidan has a queen who is going to use this as her habitat, and she will move into there and hopefully have a nice realm and build her own realm with her little helpers. Let's put that down there for now. What I want to focus on today is the terrarium aspect. So we have this piece of tube in here, as you can see. And the idea is that that's going to fit to the where the queen will be. So eventually they can move out into this teeny tiny realm and go hunting there, etc, etc, and it'll be a little bit more lifelike. So I mean, this is just an example of a terrarium that I've made before. You can't really see there because my focus is there, but there you go. It's that type of thing. I wanted to go for like a Japanesey kind of like Zen garden-y type thing, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to pull it off. The problem is that once this is on, in this instance, it's going to have to stay on, because if it's full of ants, I'm not going to be able to open that up again. Feeding will be done on the side via a separate component, so this will always stay on. So if there's any work that needs to be done in there terrarium wise, it's going to be a bit of a pain because I'm not going to be able to get in there to do that work. So I've been sitting and pondering for quite a while what I'm actually going to use to put in there. I've got plenty of moss here. That was my first idea, is to use the moss as the grass like a lot of people do in terrariums. But I'm not entirely sure that the moss is going to survive. Moss is a very, very hardy thing, but I don't think that in this instance, I just don't want to take that chance. If it does like die and then just turn to mush, and it's going to cause condensation, it's going to cause a really, really like difficult habitat for the ants. But then the second one was the kind of like succulent idea there, the cacti thingy. I might put that smaller part in there, but I'm not too sure yet. So all I'm going to do in this instance is start the landscape. So instead of having those ideas, having the moss in there, I thought I'd put in instead, I'm going to put cress in there. I'm going to put cress in there, and that's going to look like, hopefully, grass or trees or something of that feel and aesthetic. Also, I've had to consider about layering as well. I'm not going to have active charcoal in there because I'm not going to have plants that will need it, I don't think. So I'm going to have a drainage layer, and in this instance I'm just using pebbles. I'm not just going to chuck them in there because it will obviously crack the glass, and we don't want that to happen. The reason I'm not sounding too confident about this is because I've had terrariums before and I've had Formicariums before, but I've never mixed the two before. That's why I'm slightly concerned about mixing it. I don't want to mess with the welfare of the creatures that are going to be living in it, obviously. And I want to get it as right as possible. So that's why I'm not taking like massive chances with this. Okay, hopefully the camera's at a slightly better angle now. Okay, here we go then. So all I'm putting in now is potting compost. That's the idea. So if I do need to grow stuff in there, I can do that. It's going to be a little bit more anarchic on the top, where the ants actually hang out, roam and live. But for now, I think that this will be fine. Earth is earth. So what I want to go for here is, I want like a perspective type thing. So if you look at it from the side, so up here will be kind of like a mountain, and then the pathway will be going down. So when you look at it down here, the pathway will be bigger, and it'll make the mountain look far away. That's that's the idea I've got in theory anyway. I'm not actually entirely sure that's going to work, but I'm going to go for it. Okay, so that's that. The mud, you can't really get an idea of the perspective that I'm talking about at the moment. That's all of the mud cleaned up off of the carpet as well. That's always good. I've hoovered that up. Some people are like, ugh, ants. Ants are creepy. Who keeps ants? Ugh. Well, it's not like we have them all over us and let them free, and you know, they're in quite a safe environment. And they're fascinating creatures, they really are, and they're really relaxing to watch. So relaxing to watch. Just watching them go about their day-to-day business. I think it's alright as well, as long as you take care of them and don't, you know, treat them cruelly in any way. Okay, so we're going to get our mountain in the background. Oh, that's a lot bigger than what I thought it was going to be. Oh, great. Right, let me dig. I'm going to have to really dig out a large portion of this part here after flattening it. Right, okay, here we go. Oh, I've really messed this up already. Right, okay, so hold on. Okay, that's what I want. Right, that's what I want. So it's got to be poking over the top, so basically my mountain's going to have to be a lot smaller. The hill's going to have to be a lot smaller on this side than I anticipated. But that's okay. We can deal with that. Right, it's in there good, isn't it? Yeah. So the sacred stone is in there, being sacred, as the sacred stones do. I should have, like, put some runes in there or something. You know, so the ants could really mess around with some esoterical ideas. Who knows? You could get, like, wizard ants. Or witch ants. That could happen. Right, okay, this is good. This is all going to make sense. Well, I hope it's going to make sense anyway. Yes, okay, good. It looks kind of mountain-esque-ish, I guess. It doesn't, does it, really? Okay, let me work. I'm going to have to work this. Okay, so I gave up on the previous mountain and I put this sacred stone in here instead, which I think looks a lot better. The other stone was fantastic, but it was a little bit too big, but I liked the green of the moss on it. It looked like Southern Ireland. It was really, really nice. So what I'm doing now is dampening the earth here. So, as previously mentioned, this is going to be, I'm going to grow things in this as well, and we can monitor that over time. I think that'll be quite an interesting little project as well. Right, so let's move that because we're getting a weird reflection. Move you over there, so okay, there's our little road. It'll do. As I said before, the ants are just going to come in and trash this, I reckon. So it's not really that big a deal. Once I'm done with this, I'll show you. I'll give you a better look of what I've done here. Just cleaning it up ever so slightly. Really difficult. Trying not to push the mud back into it. Okay, I'm not going to mess with that anymore, I don't think. So I think I'm going to stick with the moss side here after all. I'm going to put the moss this side. And this side I'm going to go for the cress. So this side is going to be like a forest almost, and this side is going to be grassland. Well, that's what I'm hoping for anyway. Okay, so it looks kind of foresty, doesn't it? As I said, I'm not concentrating too hard on this because the ants are just going to get in there and trash it. So again, here's our pathway down here. Here's Ant Mountain, which I've fondly named Ant Mountain. Here's a wooded area. Here's another wooded area. It's almost like these trees are coming up on the mountainside. I've added these individual kind of like alien looking trees. Got a stone there, could be for feeding or something. And here is like, all that is like, you know those Zen stones you get? There you go, look, I've just got 3 pebbles and put them on top of each other, just to add that kind of spiritual woohoo aesthetic. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant the cress all in here. I don't know how long this queen's going to take. I don't know how long it's going to. I don't know when I'm going to see Aiden. If this stuff dies, I don't know. I don't think it's that big a deal. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I still think it's going to be its own little ecosystem which will build and things will rot and grow and hopefully it'll be okay. So I'm not too pessimistic about it at the moment. Right, as I said before, I'm going to use cress for this. I'm just going to put it all around there so we've got that little kind of like wooded area. But we also have bergamot. I love the smell of bergamot, it's a beautiful thing, but that's going to be too big obviously. But I also have cactus seeds, so I might just pop 1 or 2 in there just to see what happens. Apparently these can take months and months and months before they start to grow. So in the meantime, I'm going to start on the cress. Okay, so there's the seeds all dotted around randomly in the realm, in the teeny tiny realm, and I put a couple into the forested area up here as well, just to see what happens. There's a lot of seeds, 4,000 seeds you get with this, that's a lot of seeds. Right, okay, now I'm going to cover them up. Okay, there we have it. Teeny tiny realm number 1, awaiting its new residents. Okay, if you're all interested in how this world's going to evolve and what's going to happen to it, please give us a subscribe and we'll see you in the next video.